Hi everyone, happy Wednesday and welcome to the webinar. I'm Elena and I'm really excited to have you join us today. Quick tech check as we may potentially encounter some delay. My video and audio seem fine on my end, but if you notice any glitches, just drop a message in the chat and I'll fix it right away. Let's make this session both practical and enjoyable. And today we are diving into scaling creative testing, boosting email and landing page conversions. And a bit about me. I'm Elena Prohoda, an event marketing manager at SendPulse on an all-in-one marketing automation platform, and I'll be guiding you through today's session and making sure your questions get answered. Thanks for joining us. So happy to see you here. Before we start, let's get the chat buzzing. Say hi and let us know where you're joining from. And we've also got a quick poll in the chat on YouTube. Take a moment to participate. We'd love to see your answers. The question is, what's your experience with creative testing? Are you actively testing or testing casually, tried a few times or don't test yet? The most of you selected don't test yet. So, okay, but it's very interesting. Maybe results will have changed by the end of the webinar. So take a moment to participate. And if you just can see the chat, if you join us on desktop, it's on the right side of the stream, and on mobile you'll find it just below the video or maybe on the right. It depends on how you hold your smartphone. And I hope that everyone found the live chat, because we will communicate there during all the session. And before we dive into today's main session, I'd like briefly introduce SendPulse for those who might not be familiar with the company and its platform. SendPulse is a marketing and sales automation platform with over 3 million users worldwide. Through a single interface, it brings together more than 9 services like chatbots for WhatsApp, Instagram, TikTok, Telegram, Facebook Messenger, Viber, email marketing tools, which we also will discuss today, landing page builders, sales funnel automation with AI capabilities, a convenient CRM, and much more. And if we talk specifically about email marketing, and creatives for email campaigns, SendPulse makes it easy to set up campaigns and build automations in one place. I tell you that not just because I'm working for SendPulse, but as the user of the tools for our campaigns and automations. And it's really convenient and efficient for my team particularly. And for webinar attendees who haven't used the email service before, we've prepared a special offer. The first month of the email service is free. All advanced paid features, doesn't matter how large is your contact base, you are able to test in everything you want for email marketing there. So the promo code is already embedded in the QR code on the slide and in the link I'm sharing in the live chat right now. Please note that the offer is available for new paid users only. After the promo period ends, the subscription renews automatically, can be managed in your account. And now let me introduce SendPulse Academy. It offers free digital marketing automation courses to help businesses, marketers, and our users master SendPulse tools and boost their skills from email marketing to chatbots. But that's not all. The Academy team also organizes live sessions, webinars like today's one, online conferences, and creates all our video content. And we also have a great community space for marketers and SendPulse users. And you are more than welcome to join if you are not there yet. Just scan the QR code in the slide and you are in. Super easy. I'll duplicate the link to the community, to the live chat on YouTube. And here's what you'll find inside: a space to connect with other marketers, ask questions, expert support on marketing, sales automation, and SendPulse tools, plus ready-to-use templates. Our participants, our members like sharing their templates, and access to live demos, Q&A sessions, casual networking calls, coffee chats. I like them so much. And updates on the latest trends and practical tips you can actually use. And as a bonus, today's speakers' materials will be shared there too, so don't miss out. Join the community and stay in the loop. And quick FAQ before we dive in. Guys, I can see one hello and one hi there from myself. So please say hi in the chat so I make sure that everything is okay with the chat, everything works. I can see you are still joining, and we have some viewers. FAQ, I can understand maybe there is some delay. And about the recording, one moment, I'll change the slide. So important questions. The webinar recording will be on YouTube after we finish, so you can rewatch any part anytime, but stick around live if you can. It's the best way to ask questions about your own business and tasks and get answers right away. You can drop questions in the chat anytime during the session, and we'll also have a short Q&A after each session, after each presentation today. And my tip, if a question pops up, post it right away. Even if you have to leave early, you'll still get your answers from the recording. And will be about an hour today. And remember, slides will be shared in the SendPulse community. So if you haven't joined yet, now's a great time. And certificates of attendance. They are available for all registrants. They'll be sent to your registration email from tomorrow. If you joined live without registering and want to get a certificate, no worries, just leave a request in the chat board. I'll duplicate the link to the chat too. So here it is. Okay, that's our starting point. Time to explore today's topic. So about the agenda, we'll have two speakers and two presentations today and several minute Q&A after each one. The first one will be dedicated to creatives generation, and the second one will be about implementation, how to test them in email campaigns, landing pages, etc. So stay tuned. And we are about to meet our first speaker. So please, friends, welcome Sam Thomas Davies, Head of Content at Dreem. Hello, Sam. So glad to have you with us today. How's your day going so far? Are you ready to dive?
Hello, Alina. Yes, I'm very excited to be here, and I can't wait to share my presentation with the attendees here.
Great. Everything looks and sounds perfect on your side. Friends, don't hesitate. Drop your thoughts, opinions, questions in the chat. We'll be keeping an eye on everything and make sure nothing gets missed. All right, Sam, over to you. Take it away.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Alina. I think I'll skip a few slides here as you covered a lot in the introduction there, Alina. So firstly, as Alina mentioned, my name is Sam. I work for a company called Dreem, and Dreem is a virtual production studio for e-com brands. In my presentation today, I'm going to talk about why creative testing at scale is broken. I'm going to show you how AI has broken the traditional content production workflow that many e-com brands are familiar with. I'm going to show you Dreem and how you can take one product image and turn it into test-ready visuals in minutes without a shoot. And then my favorite part is I'm going to show you how to create 10 plus variants in minutes so you can run them in tests in SendPulse. So you can probably relate to my slide here. We're all in marketing, but we're all wearing multiple hats. We're probably responsible for multiple areas of the business. And oftentimes, things like creating multiple variants for testing fall by the wayside. We simply don't have the means to be able to create what we want to create. And that puts us in a very difficult position. We know that we need to create a lot of creative for A/B tests because personalization is so important today, more so than ever, but you just don't have the resources to be able to work on it. So as I mentioned, the traditional content production workflow, it's worked for decades, but AI has really changed things. And that's something that is really important to be aware of. Oftentimes, you would have one shoot, one product, one model, one image, and you would have to go through multiple steps to go from a product that arrived in your warehouse all the way to getting it live on your site. And oftentimes, you would have so many dependencies and you would have so many handoffs. You would be looking at weeks to get something live on your website. And even if you run a smaller bootstrapped business, you can probably relate to parts of this. Maybe you're using a friend as a model or a co-worker. You still have to go through all of these steps where you have to be able to take the pictures. And we haven't even talked about video. That gets very expensive as well. And so what we've seen with AI, we call this the AI era that we're in now, is what if instead you just started with a picture of a product? Maybe it's a CAD file. Maybe it's a product shot like you see in this example here. Maybe it's an on-model shot. Maybe it's even a picture taken on a phone. And you're able to create all of your variants from that one image. And you would be able to completely shrink your production workflow. You would start with that one image, you would define talent, poses, styles, you would create as many variants as you wanted, especially for split testing, and you were able to go live in hours instead of weeks. And that is exactly what we solve at Dreem. And so what I'm going to do now, Alina, is I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to show you how this actually works in real time. So hopefully you can see my screen. I'm inside of Dreem. And as you can see, I started with a picture of a shirt hanging on the back of a wardrobe. And I was able to create a full, what we call content kit. So a content kit is a front and back product shot. It is an on-model shot, front and back, and it's also a video. There might be a little bit of a lag because I'm sharing my screen, but you get the idea. And I did all of that just by uploading one image. I want to show you another example to show you how much customization you can have over something like this. I took an image of this jacket lying on the floor, and Dreem looks at that image and it creates a content kit based on the image I uploaded. I can choose a talent where I can choose from 400 plus models. I can filter by age, hair color, skin tone. Here we have men, women, children. We have hundreds of models where we can decide how we want our product to look. We can style the product so we can create looks for the product. You can see here, Dreem has automatically pulled in these jeans and these white sneakers. And for items that have a little bit more detail, you can upload a shot to get those greater details so that you don't lose anything. I'm going to generate this. It will start working in the background. I'll move on to another part of my presentation. So if I go back into, Alina, can you share my slides for me? Thank you very much. So now I want to show you the core workflow that you can go through to really test Dreem and get more variants for your products. I'm going to use a very simple example here of a hoodie. Let's say that we have this unisex hoodie and we're doing a product drop, and we want to create multiple variants that we can test in SendPulse, not only in emails, but for landing pages, pop-ups, however big your campaign is. So we're going to start with this one product image, and we're going to create 10 variants by changing one variable at a time. We're then going to export the winning variant, and we're going to upload it to SendPulse. So let's imagine how this might look. The first round is you might test 3 models, and you can do this very easily with Dreem. You can add an item of clothing to a model, and then you can change the model all within the same session. So that would be the first round of testing that you would do. And let's say model A won. What would you do then? Well, then you might decide to test different looks. So you can see here, for example, I took this hoodie and I styled the model with different pants and a baseball cap versus glasses and a hat and shorts, and then more of an editorial. So I'm actually testing different looks here to see which looks actually perform the best. And maybe look B wins this test. And then what we can do is we can choose a pose. So we can decide, okay, which poses are actually the most interesting that we can test here. And where it gets really exciting is when we go from look to format. So let's say that we have this winning look. What we can do now is we can actually test how this looks as a video. And this is something you can do very easily with Dreem. If I share my screen again here, you can see here, if I go to this session that I made previously, and to show you this, I started with the image. I didn't even upload a back. And I went through the steps where I changed the model, and I changed the poses, I changed the style, and I was able to create a video like this. And this all started from one product. I would love to know, just while I'm getting back to my slides here, what is your reaction when you see this? Drop a comment. Maybe I would love to hear from you, Alina. What is your reaction when you see something like this? When you're able to go from one product and you're able to build a full content kit and you're able to build a video, what is your reaction when you see something like this?
Super easy, simple, and amazing. Just into 1 or 2 steps. I'm not sure.
That's
really looks like simplifying the process.
Yeah, it's something that is working exceptionally well. Yeah, very practical. Couldn't agree more, Peter. And this is something that we are seeing not just in fashion and apparel, but we are seeing in other industries as well. We recently had a furniture company, and they simply just wanted to turn images into video just to add more dynamicism to their product pages. And so there are so many different use cases that you can use Dreem for. I don't have time to go through all of them today, but I certainly want to give you everything you need to start creating multiple variants for your product pages. And so what I want to invite you to do is to go and try Dreem for free. It's completely free to create an account. You don't need to add a credit card or anything like that. And the way Dreem works is it works on credits. And so every month you get 100 free credits, which is more than enough to create a full content kit, which is what I shared at the beginning of the video. And what I want to invite all of you to do here, for anyone watching this webinar, anyone watching the replay, please send me an email, sam@dreem.ai, that's Dreem with 2 E's, and I will add 2,000 credits to your account completely free. I really want to see how you use this, and I really want to hear from you and get that feedback. We are actually in closed beta right now, and so we're using a lot of the feedback to really improve the models, really improve the poses, really improve the workflow, and I would love to hear from you. So that's everything from my side of the presentation. Shortly now, I'm going to hand it over to Nataliya, that will talk more about how you can actually test all of these variations in SendPulse. And what I would like to do just before we do that is, if you have any questions or any questions at the end, I will be here at the end as well to answer those.
Sam, thank you very much. It was really great. I didn't even imagine that it was super easy. Yeah, Peter asked for the credits, and can you share your contacts, or can I share your email here to the chat just
Yeah,
for people to
absolutely.
connect?
Yeah, it's just
Okay.
sam at dream.ai.
One moment, I'll share.
And
So
please feel
many
free
thanks
to reach
here
out on
in
LinkedIn
the
as
chat.
well. I love to connect with different users of the product, and I would love to hear from you.
Yeah, okay, I can see that it wasn't shared on YouTube. One moment, I'll duplicate one more time the email. Yeah.
Yeah, and you can also add sam at dream.ai as well, Alina.
Okay. So I'll share it too, and I can see any questions in the chat. So maybe we can add Nataliya for her presentation. Thank you very much, Sam. So we'll be waiting for Q&A. Maybe we will have some questions from the audience then. Okay, and then please, guys, welcome my colleague Nataliya Yarovinska, Chief Commercial Officer at SendPulse. Hi, Nataliya. How's your day going?
Hi, Elena. Hi, everyone. Thanks for this participation. Thank you for being with us online and not waiting for the recording, as I'm sure many people often do. I'm guilty of that as well. So thank you for being online with us. I've been with SendPulse for almost 6 years now, and today I would like to share some things that are based on our own expertise at SendPulse. As Olena said, we are active users of our own product and use it all the time, use it daily, and also share some findings that we have from our customers as well. Because again, we've been in the customer facing. Yes. Okay, I'm back. I've been with the customer facing team for this 6 years almost, and now moved to Chief Commercial Officer. So basically everything here is based not just on theory, how to test, but on practice. So basically, just wanted to start from why test at all. You all answered that you have not, or most of you in the beginning answered that you have not yet used testing. We see that when a customer comes from a big company and it's a marketeer, a dedicated marketing specialist, marketing manager, the first question they ask is, where is the A/B testing? How do I do A/B testing? And they understand that it's needed, not always fully understand why, but they know that they need to have A/B testing. If it's a smaller business, if it's a small, medium business, usually A/B testing is not being used. We see that this tool just sits there available for everyone, but we often still at the same time get a lot of questions like what is the best time to send an email campaign? What is the best way to add pop-ups to a website? How do I know if the emails I'm sending are good for the audience and the audience is interacting with them well? Also, like all the like different questions about best practices. What is the best practice? How do I shape my email? How do I shape my website? And basically, there is no best practice that will 100% work for your audience. So nobody has a crystal ball. Nobody can tell you what will work with your audience. You just need to see for yourself. And also, when you just do campaigns, basically, if you just do campaigns and you look that there are some numbers, some statistics, some numbers go up from one campaign to another, some decrease from one campaign to another. If you're not sure what you need to get in the end, what results you're looking for, you are not able to improve, basically. So yeah, it's like a simple saying. I'm not the one who came up with it, but I really like it, that you get what you measure. So you need to set specific rules, specific criteria, what you will measure in this efficiency of your campaigns, in the performance of your website, and then you can actually get to these numbers with time. And of course, what is good about understanding what you're striving towards, what your measurable goals are, is basically being able to replicate what you received. So if you send an email with, as for example, Sam showed you, with pictures of just a jacket, a picture of shoes, maybe you get fewer clicks through, maybe you get fewer sales from that email than when you send an email with the GIFs or GIFs, I'm not sure what is the approved way of saying that, but just with moving actually people wearing your shirts or sweaters, and maybe then with the moving people, moving pictures, basically small videos, you will get more click-throughs and more sales from this email. Then you know what type of media you need to use. In SendPulse, we already have created a predefined template for creating A/B campaigns. So basically, if you open this is an email campaign creator, and on the first step, if you choose the A/B, you can select how many test groups you need, what you're actually testing. So you can not only test email content, which makes sense if you're using Dreem together with SendPulse. So you're basically, you can combine Dreem and SendPulse and test different email campaign content. You can also test a subject line or a sender. For those, main idea would be to see what gets more people to open your emails, more people to interact with them. So here I would say that sender and subject line get tested a lot more often. And probably the reason for that is that it's just easier and faster. So everyone lacks time. We are all constantly busy, and it just takes a lot of time to do different email content. But again, a plus, a benefit of using AI for content generation, you can create different variants faster. And what is actually a bonus of SendPulse, you see that this email is created with a drag and drop editor. So you don't need to change everything. You just choose, for example, this picture, swap it for another one, and you have your mailing B variant. So it's quite easy, and it has predefined templates for you to create multiple variants and then see the results. A/B testing often gets misused. In SendPulse, it's not possible to misuse this because you can only, as I showed you before, you can only choose one option. And here is where many marketeers come to us, or let's say not marketeers, probably customers who are not as experienced in marketing. They come to us and say, but why can't I choose two options, test the contact and the subject line? Well, main reason is because we want to keep everything the same, but one thing. So we are sure that interaction, for example, click-throughs, they increased because more people saw this specific subject line, or because of the content that was different. So it's important to choose only one metric. Definitely choose one metric, or not one metric, but one thing that we are changing, and then choose a metric how we measure success. So not look at everything, but look at specific things that could have been influenced by this one thing we are changing. It is very important to get a big enough audience. So you have an option of choosing up to 5 groups. Here, as you see on the example, there were 3 groups. One winner was selected, and target campaign has been sent to those who have not received campaign A, B, and C. But obviously, you need a big amount of people to test this. So if you have 50 people, it's not big numbers. You cannot do like a proper A/B testing or split them into multiple groups. You can split them into 3 groups, Group A, Group B, and then the rest will receive the winner campaign, but it will not be as efficient as, or not as telling. The results would not be as telling as if you have more people, like 50,000 or 2,000 people in your recipient list. And of course, we always say that let's do more tests, because one test might be inconclusive or the results might be split. If you do a few tests, you get more reliable results. So basically, encourage you to use the testing tools. And here again, just as an illustration that for websites, you can actually create pop-ups that, for example, ask people to subscribe to your email and you can test if they subscribe after you suggest they can have a 10% discount, or just show a pop-up saying, hi, register here and join our subscription club. So you can test content A, content B, and again, then you will see separately the results, the clicks, and the interactions for 2 variants. So it's quite easy to set up. Also a point here that pop-up can be like inline, built in the website, so you don't need, so you can actually make it like a whole block on your website and test websites with that pop-up as well. If you basically again come into the Dreem functionality, coming to the quick testing of landing pages, maybe you want to test different visuals on your website. Well, the problem here usually is that you're probably not able to create 2 company websites or 2 pages that would work in parallel. And again, for the purpose of ideal A/B testing setup, it is not really okay to use different products to compare, because it might get the results might get influenced by different products. So again, what we can do is add, for example, this picture, and then because it's also a drag and drop editor for websites, so it's created with modules. It's not hard to change the picture here. So as you see, this block can be easily replaced right here in the panel on the right. So you can add or edit this section, you can change the picture, you can add a video. And the key approach here, because this is not the testing using A/B tools, would be just to put some rules for yourself when you test, the time frame that you're testing this, and then see the results at the cutoff date, change the visual, and basically repeat the process. So if you talk to people, you will, or if you read online, you will know that A/B testing has some rules and guidelines, and sometimes by the book, this is not an A/B test. Well, actually, I urge you to test anyway. And the key thing here, as I mentioned on the previous slide, like for websites, yes, you probably cannot do an A/B test for your company website, just the same as you can do for emails. But what you can do is that you can set up your own test. And here the critical thing to do is to follow the guidelines you set up for yourself. So first, actually set up the guidelines, and it can be written out in a document. Basically, you just need to make sure that you know what you're changing, what you're measuring afterwards, how exactly you're going to be capturing your results. Maybe if it's a website, maybe it will not be the built-in analytics. Maybe it will be Google Analytics if you use it, or some BI tool. So here it might get more complicated. And the time frame, basically how long you want to keep each variant each time. And I do urge you, this is something that we often miss as people, is to record what happened, what were the results, what were the findings, even if the test was inconclusive or something didn't meet your expectations. It is good to record this so you can still draw a conclusion, and next time you can adjust what you're doing, adjust the test, and repeat it. This is something that I think is the ultimate goal of using tools like Dreem AI, like SendPulse, is that you can create repeatable processes. So it's not just let's invest all our time and energy and try to test something, but actually let's build a process where we daily or weekly or monthly change something small, test it, get the results, adjust our business as usual, and again, choose something to test. So I urge you to test more, test smarter, test more efficiently. And again, as Olena said in the beginning, feel free to use our coupon for a free month of email marketing at SendPulse. This is the QR code that you can scan and follow to register and get your 1 month free. Thank you. This is all I wanted to share in the beginning, and I'm happy that we have time left for questions. Please share them on your chat box.
Nataliya, thank you so much for sharing the rules, how it can be implemented in SendPulse. And let me add Sam for answering the questions. I can see several questions in the chat. So Sam, hi again. I can see questions to both of you guys. So maybe we can start from the first question in the chat. But guys, we still have some time to answer your questions related to your business tasks. So don't miss the chance. So the first question from Anne, I guess. So, Sam, how do you avoid everyone's AI creative starting to look the same across competitors?
Yeah, I think this is a great question, and it's definitely something that is top of mind for us. We are currently developing a feature where you will be able to upload yourself as a model, or if you already have an existing relationship with a model, you'll be able to use them, and it will be very similar to what you see with virtual try-on technology, where you will take a selfie from the front and maybe from the sides, and you'll be able to essentially turn yourself into a model. I think we'll also see the option to actually prompt your way to building the type of models that you want. So our 400 plus virtual models in Dreem are all prompted. We call them synthetic talent, and we have prompted every single characteristic and attribute for those models. And so I think the user will be able to do something similar in a more user-friendly way. And so that's how I think we will not see a lot of the same creative. I think another side to this as well is we're already seeing big high volume retail brands testing AI video, and it might be as simple as they're actually taking existing models from real photo shoots and they're simply turning them into video. And so I don't think it will be a problem as long as companies like Dreem are continuing to innovate and give users the option to have that control over their creative. I don't think it will be a problem. To your second point as well, Anne, about how to keep AI visuals consistent with brand identity and guidelines? I think that is such a great question, and it's actually very timely because we had a question from an enterprise customer just today, actually, and they are actually going through a rebrand at the moment. And they said, well, if you're training these models to look a certain way, what do you do when you rebrand? How do you control that? And so I think we will see an option where you can actually define even more. We've been talking about Dreem should be as simple or as complicated as you want it to be. So you should be able to go in there, click 3 times and have a full content kit. But you should also be able to define the look, the vibe, the lighting, all of these intricate details that you would typically bring into a photo shoot. And so it will be something that's possible. It is something that we're thinking a lot about at the moment. And that's a great thing about having these big, high volume enterprise customers, because they do think about those details like that. And so that's helping us really stay ahead of the curve. So hopefully that answers your questions, Anne.
Yeah, thank you, Sam. Thank you, Anne. And the question to both of you guys. So how do you decide whether a winner is statistically strong enough to roll out? Please, Sam, could you share your opinion?
I'm keen to hear your thoughts, Nataliya, because I know that you're a lot more better versed in split testing than I am.
Okay, I would say that so there are rules, there are statistical rules that say that there are certain coefficients that you need to use, and something can be considered a difference, like officially, that is strong enough to implement and to say that the test has been a success. There are numbers statistically to say that no, this has not been a success, and there are a few variants here. Me personally, I would not focus on the statistics here, because most of us work with the number of users or number of participants in the A/B test that statistically probably is not that big. So if you have an audience of 2,000 people, probably statistically it will be not as easy to see the winning combination, rather compared to a bigger audience of 20,000 people. So here I would focus on the rules that you decide for yourself and the level of the change that you're implementing. So basically, if it's a big change and you see that the difference between two options is not big, that it's from your opinion, so not too big that you feel like you need, and the change is critical and you're afraid to lose your customers, then you need to consider that from your rules, it's not statistically strong enough. If the change is something that you like, that you believe in, and you see that it does not make a statistical difference, but you still want to roll out the change, I think that you can do it, because obviously it's not a big impact for your customers, but you like it, you think that this has a potential, so that you still make this decision. So I think that to sum up, it's hard to say, and it's very critical, I think, to agree on the rules in the beginning, because from emails perspective, sometimes we set a rule that we will choose a winner by the number of opens, and this is the key metric that we are interested in, how many opens we get. But then when it comes to making a decision, we say that, but are we sure that we got this number of opens because we changed that exact thing? And then we start second guessing ourselves. So from my side, it would be setting up clear rules for yourself and understanding if this change could be a risk or it's just an opportunity, and we can actually add it even if it's not statistically strong enough.
Yeah, I don't have too much to add other than I think there is a gut feeling to this. And if we go back to the earlier example I shared of the unisex hoodie, well, of course, if you're segmenting your email list by information like male versus female, you're obviously going to see a high lift depending on whether you're using a male or female model showcasing that product. But I think you'll get a feeling as well for what type of model specifically are you using, what pose, what kind of look. I think you're going to be able to make really well-informed decisions based on what data that you have already on your subscribers. And so I think it is a very interesting question and it's hard to answer very succinctly, but I think a lot of it will come down to the more you can test, of course, the more you can use this information to make well-informed decisions in the future.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Nataliya. Thank you, Sam. And thank you for the questions, guys. So as we don't have any other questions, so let me ask you guys about what advice would you give someone just starting to scale their creative testing using tools like Dreem and SendPulse? Maybe we can start with Nataliya.
Okay, let me just think for a moment and start this. I think that in terms of testing, again, this is something that I've been repeating, and this is probably my own way of thinking about it, but it's based on the way email marketing can work. Don't think too much about rules. Don't try to calculate the variances and the sample sizes for too much time. So don't spend too much time trying to come up with the perfect setup and the perfect sample size. Just start creating A/B testing. Start looking at whether your audience actually does react differently to different setups. And then as you get results, you will be able to go deeper and deeper into this. And of course, for website testings, it's probably better to consider all the background there is, all the statistics background there is, to try and understand where you can do the traditional A/B testing and where you can just try and schedule your own tests. So we have one thing up on our website for one time, and then afterwards we have something else. So yeah, I would suggest to start small and start as quick as possible, as soon as possible, and then go deeper into this.
Yeah, I think this is such a great question as well, and there's a few ways of tackling it. Firstly, I think it depends on how big your audience is, how frequently you're emailing your list. I think one thing that comes to mind is I did a webinar recently and I talked about how to revive dead stock. So maybe you launched a product and it didn't sell very well. Well, it's easy to assume maybe the product didn't sell well, but maybe it was actually the creative. Maybe you only had a product shot, or maybe you did have a non-model shot, but it could have been better. It could have been a video, something like that. So it might just be a case of take some underperforming pages, or start with one underperforming page and just start testing the creative. Maybe you test product shot versus on model, or on model versus video. Maybe if it's unisex, like I mentioned, you have male and female models. I think the most important thing is to keep it very simple and just learn how to use tools like Dreem to really enable you to do a lot more testing, because the bottleneck is no longer time or resources. You can actually do this from your laptop now very easily. And so that would be my invitation to the audience, to keep it very simple and start testing something.
Oh, I like your points of view so much. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. And I think that we've got through all the questions. So I would thank you all once again for your insights, for your cases, for what you were sharing with us today. So, and friends, thank you all so much for joining us today, for your questions. And as we explored how to scale your creative testing just to get more conversions. If you have any more questions or want to dive deeper into today's topics, don't hesitate to reach out to Sam or Nataliya. The contacts will be in presentations. Presentation will be sent via email, or you can get it in the community. The links are in the chat or just in the description of the video if you're watching us in the recording. So stay tuned, exciting things ahead. Until next time, keep building, keep thriving, and keep rocking it. So catch you later, guys. Take care and stay awesome.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Yeah. Bye-bye.